everybody. Thanks for watching. For people who tuned into the live the other night, appreciate you guys coming in and staying up late for that live. We got into a lot of information on there. But, I was talking about the tariffs and everything like that. A couple of people probably misunderstood what I was meaning by being excited about the tariffs. So it's exciting for people who understand what's going on. And the thing is, one, we were going to be left with a very difficult time going forward, because without any type of deal or movement with trade with China, the markets stay where they are. Now, if you're a person that's highly invested in stocks, if you're trading in crypto, any movement in the market right now is good, especially with stocks going down. So the excitement was mostly for that, because you guys got to understand. We understand, 90 days, the 10% and everything like that. Not too much was really lifted or given or what have you. But the fact is, there's talks, there's movement. You see the market went up in a lot of areas because there's actual deals being done and stuff being talked about. We know that the U.S. had already did a deal with the U.K., short, small deal, but it's good for both economies. So again, this is important because, obviously by them not getting a long-term deal done, there's still going to be some skepticism moving forward. There's still going to be a lot of businesses that can't really take that risk. But what this is going to do for major businesses and retailers or what have you, one, it's going to assure for us that there is products on the shelves moving forward, which is important. So for the people that's worried about it being bare shelves or what have you, we should at least be okay for the rest of the year because of this. And hopefully a longer deal gets done later on. So, through Christmas and, holiday seasons or what have you, it shouldn't be no more worry about it being a run on the supermarket and, there being low in stock for things, right? Because what's going to happen throughout this 90-day process is a bunch of businesses are going to flood their warehouses, which I talked about in the previous video when I said they were already doing this. And they're doing this because, one, there are places where you can store goods where they are free from tariffs, which, is under government watch or what have you. But there's places that you could do this at. There's facilities that exist, and people have their own facilities where they can warehouse and house things, by the boatload. So what's going to happen now, one, with stocks going up, with the ships being, back out there moving, shipping costs will go up for a lot of people that's importing, because you can imagine right now the ships are full, they're backlogged, they're backed up, and there's going to be a lot of movement happening. So it's exciting this time because a deal is done, even though it's a short deal, even though China makes it seem like it's nothing. And it's more like a political thing with Trump, but there's actual movement. We're not going to know for sure until we see something more concrete and on paper and signed. But for the business confidence being the way that it's been and things going up as quickly as it went up, I believe it's legit for now for, the 90 days. So sometime the end of August, we'll have to go and revisit all this if a deal is not done before then. So I expect stocks to go up, but not too crazy. What people are hoping is that there's a long-term deal done and this doesn't have any real, consequences down the road. But for now, this is good because of course, when you're dealing with stocks and especially with crypto right now, there is, the news is a big deal. What's being said by the president, what's being said by major companies and corporations is a big deal when it comes to stock. Just on this deal being done or semi-deal or talks or what have you, stocks shot up. A lot of stocks rebounded just because of this. And this is what happened. So I believe, as I said before, talked about this, what was said and everything that's been going on has been, done so to lower the stocks so that these major companies can buy a lot more at a low price. If you have the power to do a press conference and drastically lower the price of a stock, then go on ahead and buy a large quantity of that stock that you just lowered with your, report. that's a big conflict of interest when that's being done, especially for a person that has the power to do so. But we've been seeing this. So it's something to look at. Again, I think a lot of people should be happy about this and, everything that's going to probably come out of this. Again, what Trump signing the executive order to basically lower prescription costs, something they're going to have to do anyway, because the tariffs on these medicines being made overseas is super high. So they struck a deal, where they can do this. So again, it's going to be a time where people can really take advantage of what's happening if you understand what's happening. I think a lot of people who understand and know you guys are going to be able to make a lot of money out of this, as I've been talking about. So that's what it's all about. And something had to be done so we don't go into the summertime and go towards the holiday season with all of these companies and these brands and stores, what have you, being low on stock. So they're going to stock up. They're going to bring in a lot of stuff. They're going to warehouse a lot of stuff. They're going to probably, be smart and go ahead and warehouse and bring in a lot of things for Christmas, holiday season, or what have you, to have merchandise there because they don't want to lose that money. And they're going to protect their companies. So again, certain things happen that kind of give you an understanding that something like this is possible. One of those things, when I talked about before with GTA 6 being pushed back, that lets you know something, because that game is going to largely involve crypto. So they're going to want something to be done before they really bring that whole thing out. We've seen with the deal with XRP, the settlement with the SEC, basically making it almost regulated. You might as well say that. And they're going to say it's not officially, but you can almost say it's the first regulated crypto, because now there is a definition. There is a statement in what XRP is, as far as it not being a security on the public exchange, right? So we had all that going on, which is a big move for XRP and Ripple. And, Ripple basically being able to use this to go ahead in the global market and make, get deals done. This is what that's going to do. So since there is some type of language as to what XRP is officially with the SEC, then now that kind of gives them like a ticket to go out there and make moves, knowing that other businesses can look at what the SEC said about, Ripple and XRP, and they can kind of get an understanding of how they can move forward with XRP. So it's a big deal, and we expect to see a rise with XRP because of this, which we have. So this isn't so much about, Trump and a major victory going forward, because if you're in a society, you understand what I talk about and what this means for us and what we're trying to do. So again, you guys got to understand, any movement right now is good for the markets. And this is what, if you're preparing for, the worst, this is what you want to see right now, because now it gives you more time to get money together and get, to eat off of this. And without there being a deal, even in this capacity, with us waiting and everything being dragged out and stuff being hoarded and, companies not having, consumer confidence, it's tough for any type of stock, any type of crypto market right now, which is why we haven't seen any major jumps. And then here it is now because of this. So something to look at, something to understand about more, and we got to look and wait until all this unfolds and see what's really going to be real with the whole deal. And of course, a lot of people rightfully so skeptical about it. People just think it's a political stunt. People don't like China's, explanation as for what it is. Them basically saying, hey, we just basically agreed to keep talking. But there has been said to be actual numbers involved in all this and stuff being done and concessions or what have you. The biggest thing, there hasn't been any real movement, right? And what people really want to see is movement, something being done, and officially, what do we get back? Are they going to give us back the de minimis rule, right? And the minimis rule is basically saying that, stuff that's under a certain price, I think it's $800, they can't really put no tariffs on that, but they can now. So, the de minimis rule not being reinstated, that's also a red flag, because it's like, well, damn, if importing stuff so cheap, why do you want to put tariffs on it? Trump is not playing, man. He is serious about getting these companies and corporations to come back to America and build, and whatever that means going forward, which again, I talk about, we know that they sticking with this. So anything we can get right now is good for the market, for growing your stock and seeing crypto rise and what have you, and understanding what to do with this knowledge and information and how to, generate wealth from it. So talking about the de minimis rule and how that affects a lot. I know a lot of people had questions about what is this going to do for drop shipping? What is this going to do for bringing in goods from China? And as I talked about, you're still able to get stuff from China. China has warehouses in America. Not only that, if you have the Shopify course and everything, if you watch the video, you see what else is there on the importer and where else you can get stuff from. Shein is they get a lot of stuff from China, but it's also, they have American-based companies and factories or what have you, warehouses, I should say. And there's also other companies that's American-based on the importer where you can get stuff from. So it's not going to really affect you guys. There will be tariffs, of course, but like, you're not selling nothing crazy, over $800. It's going to be a small amount. A lot of people are confused about that, but it's going to be a small amount of money, which is going to lead to a slight increase in your wholesale price that you're going to be paying, not out of pocket, not up front, of course, once the product sells. The same way it has always been done. So it's not nothing to worry about. Stuff's still coming into the country. You're still going to be able to get stuff in. It's not going to be a big deal. So I know a lot of people had a lot of questions about getting the Shopify, Amazon course and everything like that. And it's always, like I said, people talk themselves out of success. And it's just, again, I'm living proof of what you can do with this whole thing. I think the course speaks for itself and everything you can do with it. But the biggest thing, as I said, is going to be advertising. That's where the money comes in. So as I show you guys in the course, for the people who's doing well and everything like this, you guys know. So show you guys how to advertise through Facebook and how you can use Shopify itself to advertise. But there's so much more. This is only the beginning of it. So using Facebook and using boost posts and everything like that is for social media. You can also advertise on YouTube, as I've shown you guys. You can also pay X if you want to, but you can advertise in many different ways with social media, of course, for free. And then, of course, you can pay, which is, of course, the best and better way to do it. But it's so much more past using Facebook and using the algorithm because there's AI now, right? So, you have Allison AI and you have like a lot of major companies. Google use Allison AI, right? TikTok use Allison AI. It's a lot of major companies. Nestle, a lot of companies that use Allison AI. And then you guys will think to yourself, well, I'm not going to be able to afford that. It's not super expensive at all. They have a plan for every single budget on how you can basically find your target audience, how you can put together the right promotional plans to target the right audience and everything like that. But here's what a lot of people are not thinking about. You guys are not thinking about global business. You're thinking in terms of what you know and what you see and where you get your products from, and not thinking about having a drop shipping company where you basically import stuff from everywhere. You're global, right? So you got to understand their links and what's popping over here is not the same over there. So they're just worried about the products. You guys are worried about who's selling the products and where it comes from. You guys are worried about getting shit from a popping link or a popping website, right? Or a website that everybody knows about and everybody's going to or what have you. It's not the same. It's about the product. I want what I want. I'm gonna get the product or not, right? So they got to think about overseas, which is where I talked about before, the bulk of my sales on my sites come from. So, because once you use Allison AI, right? And you also have Simplify, which is what I use. Simplify is very good. I think it's the leading software in this space. And then you have Vibeco, right? So you have other platforms and tools that you can use to generate advertising better than Facebook boost posts, because they're going to actually help you put together campaigns and help you find that target audience, not just on social media, but all over the world, right? So again, these are the people, when you're talking about a product, it pops up on your phone. When you're talking about a product, it's on your timeline. It's using Google to the fullest. is using AI to the fullest, and they're going to be able to get your site and your products in front of the people that's actually looking for it and show you how to customize your advertising for what you're selling to get it to people that's actually looking for it, instead of wasting all that advertising on people that's just trying to, play some video games or trying to fucking look at some porn or what have you. So your product is going to get to the people who actually want it. And that could be multiple things for you if you have a site with a variety of stuff that you're selling. Now, if you have just baby clothes or women's clothes, it's easier for you guys because then it's just, you have your target audience right there, right? You know exactly who you're trying to sell to. So it's easier for you guys in that sense. Like if you're just selling baby clothes or makeup or what have you. But if your site is a variety site, then you target more people. And that's good because a person that's looking for baby clothes might also be looking for women's clothes or shoes or what have you. So you're able to get all that stuff to them using this very powerful AI tool to target these people globally. Don't think about people just in the US and saying, okay, they're going to hate on me, they're not going to buy from me. You got to think about being global and having people all over the world look into your site to buy exactly what they're looking for, right? So again, it's about platforms, and then having your ad showcased on the platform that you probably might not even know is big in another country is what these, companies is going to be able to do for you using something like Allison AI or Simplify. This is what they do, right? So guys can go ahead and Google it and read through it. I'm going to go and talk about it later on in another video, but I just want to touch on these things because I know a lot of people had questions about it. But you have other alternatives to promoting besides just social media, because you guys are just thinking it's just social media. Well, don't nobody know me. I don't have that many people following me. This is why you use these tools and stuff like this exist to grow your site. Plain and simple. It's not hard because one, you got to think about having an algorithm and there being millions of people looking for a product that you sell. It's enough for everybody. It's more than enough. And getting that product to them is what you're trying to do. Everybody knows where to go to get what they want. They know where to go. They're going to go there. They're going to grab it. But then sometimes it's about what's right in front of the person at that time that they're looking for it, right? So again, you could be talking about a product and you scrolling seconds later, it's right there. Even sometimes the fucking commercial will come on about a product that you talked about. It's kind of crazy, but this is what all that does. And this is what you have access to now, understanding how these other companies work. It's up to you guys to take advantage of this stuff and just stop procrastinating, stop being scared, build a store. You don't have to buy my Shopify course at all. You can just go do it on your own and figure it out on your own and do the same thing. And it's just smart to go this route, especially if you're looking for a couple extra $1,000 a month that you can make doing this, and stop listening to these haters and people who gave up, who say, oh, this shit don't work. I ain't making the money because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. They don't know shit. I've done this. I've been successful at it. I made millions of dollars doing it. And I'm showing you guys exactly how I did that and the process and the steps you need to take to do it. Again, I put the course out for $30. That price went up and it's going to go up again. So get it now. This is like, I'm giving you fucking gatekeeper shit in these videos, like stuff that nobody's never going to give you, and take the time to explain it. It took me 3 days to put that red arrow on all these spots to show you guys in that series and edit that video series, right? So it's a lot of work into it because it takes a lot for you to be successful. If it was fucking easy, everybody would be doing it, right? You have lazy people, which is why I said, if you're lazy, keep your money. Don't buy it, right? Don't get it because it's not for you. You're going to be doomed to whatever you're doing, wherever you're working at. But if you're willing to put in a little bit of work, you can grab what you want to grab. And who knows, from this, you might figure out something else. Who knows? But this is a good way for people looking to get out of the bullshit, whatever job you're doing right now, and to be an entrepreneur. And you own a store. You're going to have an online store from that. Once you get your money up and you start doing well, you can grow from there. Which I talk about in the video, going from, importing and dealing with the wholesale and everything like that to you buying physical merchandise, physical products, and you being a shipper. Yeah. So I know, what's happening with the trade, all that was scary and everything was like weird. But like I said, for anybody that's trading, if you're dealing with stocks, if you're dealing with crypto, this was a big deal. This was good because we just need this to be said, and that talks are going to be ongoing. It gives confidence in the companies to pursue, to move forward. Stocks went up quickly, today, like as I said it would last night. I knew it was going to shoot up in the morning. Everything was shooting up. But again, it doesn't mean we're completely out of it. It just means for this gap, for those of us in the know that know how to use this and make money from it, this is a gap for us, a time frame for us to go ahead and work, to go ahead and jump in there and invest in these certain things and make this money and then get out before it goes down again. Now, they can strike a deal. It can be a long-term deal done. But the fact that this was only a short-term deal tells me that it might not be, and something might happen later on because of this. So we avoid a lot soon. But for people who know, we're going to gain a lot. And you have to look at this strategically too and understand, well, what did they do? They flooded the market with a bunch of bad news and everything, trade, all this bullshit, right? What happened? Stocks went down. What did they do? They went in and bought a shitload of those stocks. Now they're going to make money from it. They sat and wait. Nothing is fishy. Everything's okay. They bought low. Now they have to drive the prices up so they can make a profit off of what they just bought a few weeks ago, right? And this is what they've done. Now shit is going up. They just made I just made a shitload of money. I made a shitload of money. So now these people are making crazy money because of what just happened, right? So what's going to happen next? They're going to do this again. And now they're playing with us. They're going to up, down, up, down, up, down, in and out, making money. But at the same time, if you pay attention, China's getting paid back, right? Because what's about to happen? China for the next 90 days is going to get bum rushed because everybody's going to be buying from China. This is why I said you have to sit back and pay attention to certain things. And then you guys, a lot of people who don't understand what's going on, don't see this shit. Dude, like, if this is your enemy, if you guys are enemies, right? Okay, understand. Trade deal, whatever it is, it will be very easy for China to cripple America and vice versa, right? So why are we playing these games? Now, if you want to hurt China, because this is, we get more stuff from China, all these tariffs. Yeah, we're not even talking about the other countries that this is affecting. We only talk about China, right? If we're enemies, right? I just really threw China a alley-oop because, while you guys still had to go and buy from Russia, right? And while you're losing money because people were not buying from you guys because of the whole tariff shit. And this is how I'm hurting you. And the same thing with us not being able to get shit from them. It's the same shit. But now here I go, because one, of course, America, we could just go ahead and start manufacturing our shit. We can get our stuff from other places. But here it is now with this deal or semi-deal being done. They just put a lot of money in China's pocket. So China's going to recoup a bunch of money because everybody right now, as we speak, is buying super large quantities of products from China. Like, shipping is going to be crazy. The ships are going to be packed. There's going to be a lot of runs back and forth. It's going to be crazy. There's a lot of influx is going to come into the country as far as goods and stuff. Shelves is going to be stocked. Warehouses are going to be filled. It's going to create a lot of jobs. A lot of workers is going to be needed in these warehouses. It's going to be a boost to the economy. It's a big deal. And it's big for the shipping ports as well, which, I talked about before. The videos out there of the shipping ports being empty, the ships being set out there, a lot of blank shipping happening. Blank shipping been happening for a long time with all this going on. And blank shipping is basically like when a cargo ship is on its way to its destination with a shitload of cargo. And then the owner of that cargo says, no, don't bring that shit in right now. Like, tariffs is crazy. I got to worry about this. Don't bring it in. I need you guys to just sit there. Right. So then either they got to skip that destination and go somewhere else, offload everything, onload new stuff, and it's a whole fucking big deal. So it's going to be a lot of confidence with shipping right now because they don't have to worry about this because people are going to want these stuff in. But we'll see ports filled with ships and a lot of stuff coming in because for the next 90 days, people are going to want to get in as much product as possible, just in case a deal is not done that's long term for this, which I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest with you. But I hope it does because it's going to be good for stocks. Now, what I'll say is this. depending on how these stocks rebound, because I expect them to go down again at some point and then jump back up. Depending on how things rebound during this process, right? We'll either get an extension on those 90 days or what have you going through first quarter, or a deal to get done because they're going to need it to get done in order for stocks to reach where they're trying to get it to reach, right? This is a money grab for a lot of businesses and everything. So a lot of people are going to look to make money off of what's happening. And then when you have a president like Trump is the perfect president for this because his words, they ring. His words, everybody's listening to what he's saying. He's hilarious. He's animated. So when he says stuff, it rings throughout, the business world. Perfect dude for what they're trying to do right now. So it's one of the things to look at as to Trump's job during this administration, right? And I believe that they would have got it done with Biden had his health, not deteriorate and, the dude could barely walk and talk. I think they was going to go on ahead and let him be the one to do all that, what Trump's doing now. But it is what it is. But as far as business, a lot of people have a lot of confidence in Trump business-wise and moving forward in what he's doing. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. For me, this is going along exactly what I talked about in the society. It's happening in a way as I explained. As I said, Harlem Nights. We're going to Harlem Nights them, kick them in the nuts, and get out of here with a bunch of money before everything go to shit. And that's the move. If you understand, you understand. So this is a good thing for us. This is good information for us. Whether or not it's 90 days doesn't matter. It's good for the markets. It's good for moving forward. Right now, all we got to do is just chill. Sit back, put together a plan, and invest in the right things, the right time. But build up enough money because we're going to be able to see what's coming before it comes. When you're conscious, when you understand the moves that's being made. Now, I will say, I was completely shocked by, I knew something would happen. I didn't know it would be even a 90-day deal. But I was shocked by something getting done so quick, especially with the way things was looking. But it makes sense. It makes sense because, what are you going to do? You didn't lower stocks to buy it low. You got to make it go up at some point, which I was waiting for because, of course, you can see that's exactly what they did was lower stocks so they can buy in low, went all the way down to 161 XRP. And then, boom, here we go. So I expect XRP to at least hit during this 90 days. I think it'll reach 5. I think it'll reach 5, maybe even $10. They speculate, and we'll see what happens. But there's going to be a major jump because Ripple is doing absolutely so much for it not to be a major jump. Like they're doing a lot, and it's like it's going to happen any day. And again, that's how it works. When it happens, that's it. That's it. Think about how many stocks out there is trading past $10. It's a bunch of them. It's going to get there. And again, once it jumps, you're going to be priced out. You're not going to be able to afford, to be able to buy enough stock to make a difference, right? It hits $10. You got $10,000 to get you 1,000 shares, right? So can you swing that, right? And that's where the money comes in. You want to have thousands of shares. So if it goes up $1, you just made $1,000. If you got 7,000 shares, you made $7,000 because it went up $1. Right? Imagine making $7,000 in a day or in a week. This is how it's done. This is why I talk about this is what I do. I walk around and I cash out stock every day if I need to, and I can live off that because this is how you set it up. You want to have multiple stocks. Every day you're a bank. You wake up and you see what went up. What went up will cover what went down. And then you take out whatever profit you want to take out every morning and put it wherever you want to put it. Put it into cash, move it to another stock, buy more stock, whatever you want to do. But this is the name of the game. This is how it works. Now, we talked about XRP because here is a unique opportunity to get in on something that we know was going to blow the fuck up, right? It's going to be the next Bitcoin. We know for sure. The thing is where to buy in, which if you ain't buying yet, you stupid. How much to buy? At least 1,000 shares. I know a lot of people can't afford that. It'll be like almost $3,000 right now. But it went down to 161. I told everybody, I posted it. Buy, right? If you're sitting on a few thousand shares, if you bought at that time was at 161, look how much money you made, right? So listen, man, I can't say it enough. Like this is how people get left behind and how shit happens. And these are life-changing things coming up, right? Creating generational wealth, big moves moving forward. Again, one of the reasons for the Shopify course and everything I put out for you guys to start generating that money so you can have that money coming in to make these investments, right? You gotta trust something and you gotta start somewhere. And again, even if it's not buying my course, look into it yourself. Do something. Don't just sit back and be waiting and watching all these people make crazy money and you don't make shit because you're stubborn or cheap or what have you. Like whatever it is, you got to wake up and understand what's happening and that this has happened before. And now you have an opportunity to get in and blow up from just a little bit of knowledge that I'm giving you guys for free here on YouTube right now. So, here it is. But again, this is a good deal, good thing. We'll see what comes from it. We'll see what the jargon is going to be about on this whole thing. And we're going to move accordingly. So the app is out for my Scholar Society members. Make sure you download it. The new calendar is up on the app. So it should be on the timeline. And we're ready to go. We'll be right back in it for our next meeting soon, which we'll talk about more in depth about this stuff. But yeah, thanks for taking the time to watch. Links are in the description for everything to join, all of that. Take advantage. See you guys next video. Peace.